Hello guys and welcome to another exciting video on this channel. In this video I'm going to talk about the topics or niches that I usually avoid for my merch by Amazon products or designs. Now these topics and niches are apart from the usual copyright things and the trademarks. These are those topics and those niches which usually lie in the gray area and that can cause problems for you. So if you are interested in knowing these topics, make sure that you watch the video till the end. The first topic or niche that I usually avoid on much by Amazon products is political designs or anything that has something to do with politics. Now this year 2020 has been a big politically eventful year, or maybe you can say this has been in an election year. So there has been a lot of chance and a lot of, you can say that, potential for political designs to make a lot of money. Now why I do avoid these political design is because that sometimes these political designs go against I would say that two of the much by Amazon policies. The first policy is that that has to do with the mentioning the name of any kind of celebrity or any kind of person whose name you are not allowed to use. You don't have the rights to use for that name. So that is one of the reason. The other reason is that sometimes it comes under hate speech because you are favoring one political leader, you are getting a design for one political leader, and that design might come under that umbrella of hate speech. So these are the two main reasons that I usually avoid political design. No, I'm not saying that I avoid all kind of political, totally non-political designs. I usually do that, but it means that I try to avoid those political design which are actually targeting any kind of person by name or referring to that person clearly. If that political design is just or a little bit of general, some kind of code, some kind of favoring any kind of political thinking, and that is okay. But if that thinking is going to hurt another person or another community, I usually try to avoid that kind of political design. And that is why, despite this year being so active on this politically active, I try to avoid most of these political designs. Just a few ones which did not mention any kind of political party, especially and especially any kind of political person by name. So this is just my way of doing things. So that totally depends upon you, whether you want to completely avoid political design or you are taking that risk by mentioning the name of the person, political celebrity, or you are just going to take that risk in favor of the sales that you get, because there are definitely a large amount of sales that can happen because of these politically you can say related designs. Okay, the niche or the topic number 2 is movie, song, or you can say TV show and book titles. Now definitely movies and TV shows titles are, you can say, a little bit more famous as compared to the song or the book titles. The book titles, I would say that they are not as much risky as compared to the TV show or movie titles and then the song titles. So what I usually do is that if I have any kind of phrase, any kind of something in mind, or if I have any kind of quote that I found somewhere or I just came up with it myself, I usually search it on Google and then try to find out if that quote or that can say the title or the wording belongs to any kind of movie, any kind of TV show, or anything that is too famous. Now of course, as I've already said, the movie shows and TV shows and movies are the most strict regarding their copyright laws. But if you talk about the song titles and the book titles, so song titles can be a little bit strict if they are from some kind of famous singer, then I usually avoid it. But if it's something that is too general, something, some word, some kind of statement that is too general, then it's okay to go. And if it that is not referring to the lyrics, and you can say the whole idea of that song, that is okay. Then there are book titles. So some of the book titles, I would say that if they are adopted into movies, so that can be a little bit problematic, because now you have competing, you are going against two kind of copyrights, the movie copyrights and the book copyrights, these kind of things. So I usually avoid that as well, book titles. Some of the book titles are too general that you cannot find easily that this phrase or this statement belongs to any kind of book. So if your statement and belongs, if it is already present in some kind of a book title, and you can say that a song title, and if it's not referring to that topic, the complete idea of that book or that song, I would say it's a little bit okay to do that. So this is my way of doing things regarding these book titles and TV shows. Then the third thing, topic that I usually avoid is profanity. Now previously it has been okay to use the profanity, any kind of profanity word on adult shirts. So but now they have changed their policy, as I've already previously made a separate video on this. But despite being allowed on adult shirts previously, I used to avoid it, because again, if it is referring to any other person or any other group of people, usually it would come under the that umbrella of hate speech, and which I always try to avoid it, because if anything can be meant for considered as a hate speech, that can cause a problem for you and your account. So this is I usually avoid. Now that they have changed the policy, I try to completely avoid profanity, any kind of profanity on my t-shirts, even if they are not referring to any other kind of person or any other group of people, because you know that not every design is being reviewed by a human being on much of Amazon. So usually these are bots that review your designs. They have certain keywords entered in their list, and if they find your listing to contain the same keyword, then they might flag it, and it will go, of course it will go under manual review, and it can cause a little bit problem for you. So try to avoid it as well. The fourth thing that I usually, the fourth topic that I usually avoid is the natural disasters, or you can say the natural events which caused a lot of damage to the human beings or maybe property. So this can be rains, fire, hurricanes, or even diseases. As this year we have seen that there has been a lot of takedowns or rejection of designs based on COVID-19 or anything that has to do with the word virus or maybe social distancing. So I try to avoid it. Now of course I had during the, I think in March or in April, I have created a design based on social distancing, but later on I found out that they can cause a little bit problem, because they might consider it to be going against their policy of human tragedy. Now it is a little bit kind of gray area, because this virus, this COVID-19 coronavirus, is a disease. So if you, of course nobody is going to create a design favoring this disease or promoting this disease. That's ridiculous. But what you are doing is that you are creating design to create awareness regarding this disease, or maybe having some meaning of against that disease. So that is, I would say, why it is considered human tragedy thing, why it is not allowed. Because if you create any kind of design that is promoting you can say awareness regarding cancer, maybe, or maybe autism related shirts, so autism awareness, cancer awareness search, so these shirts or these designs are allowed on much of Amazon. They do not get rejected. But if you create a similar kind of design relating to this coronavirus or COVID-19, it might get rejected. Or even if you create awareness like social distancing, that might get rejected as well, because of that human tragedy clause of their content policy. So I try to avoid any kind of natural disaster. If it is happening, maybe earthquake, fire, anything that is happening anywhere in the world, if it has to do a large scale destruction of property, or large stake, you can say, deaths or something like that. Anything that if it causes any kind of large scale problem, then I usually avoid that kind of disaster or that kind of disease related, especially disease related designs. Then the fifth one and the last one is that I avoid these kind of puns and quotes that are, you can say, a play of words on any kind of quotes from any kind of movie or TV show. Now this is a little bit different. If you use the same word and the same sentence from a TV show, from a movie, exactly as it, that's obviously against those copyrights. But if you play on the words, change it a little bit, and try to use it on the designs, they might not go against the clear-cut copyright laws. So as I've already seen previously, when there was Game of Thrones trending, so there was these designs that I do this and I know things. So the word I know things was from the TV show, but the first phrase, the first part of that phrase was different. It was always different from the TV show. So now it is kind of play on the words, and especially there are a lot of puns related to the movies, which I'm not going to mention here because that would be just giving you the complete niches. So that's not what I'm going to do here. So there are a lot of puns that are a play of words on the movie titles and the TV shows that are not necessarily going against the copyright laws, but again that can cause a little bit of problem for you if that copyright holder or a company or the author of that book or maybe a song finds out, and they can claim copyrights for that phrase, that they are you are using their intellectual property, so you are benefiting from their intellectual property. So that can cause a little bit of problem, even if you are using puns or phonetic words that sound the same as compared to those famous quotes or something. For example, if we just bluntly use the word Coca-Cola, so if you spell it with C-O-C, with the C, Coca-Cola, and of course you cannot use it, but if you maybe spell it with K, that might be okay to you might pass through that initial review, that robotic review on Amazon, that might pass through. But again, it would be against the intellectual property of the Coca-Cola, because the word Coca-Cola, if it is pronounced with C or maybe it is pronounced with K, it sounds the same. So if your title, if your word or phrase or sentence, any word in it is sounding the same as compared to the original copyrighted word or the sentence, you should avoid it. And even if don't try to combine the quotes from movie or TV shows with a different phrase, break down the sentences. I've already just given you an example of I know things. Now you might find a lot of different t-shirts, a lot of different designs based on these designs, and they are selling well. But again, it is a risky thing, and it totally depends upon you whether you want to take that risk or not. So I don't usually take that risk because in the earlier days when I was just approved on this platform, I got some rejections based on these trademark, mainly because of the trademarks. I saw some phrase, saw some code, and I just didn't thought that such a long phrase, such a long code would be a trademark or copyrighted, and later on it was rejected. So during my early days I got some rejection, and because of that I try to avoid these 5 topics, these 5 niches that I have mentioned in this video. Now let me know what topics or what niches you avoid, even if they are not against these clear-cut copyright and trademark laws. So what do you avoid for your Much Amazon designs? Let me know in the comments below. And if you have any questions regarding this video or any of my previous videos, you can ask me in the comments below, or you can join my Facebook group, the link to which you can find in the description below as well, and you are welcome in that community. So hopefully you have found this video to be helpful and useful. If so, make sure that you like the video, and if you are interested in online learning and creating a passive source of income through internet, you can subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to press that bell icon so that you can be notified about my future videos as well. And thank you for watching.